This week's guides are brought to you by Star Trek Fleet Command. Download the game in the description down below and beat the tutorial to help support the Twitchiest community and charity. We're going to be donating $1,000 if we reach 250 downloads and tutorial completions, all the way up to $2,000 if we get 450 downloads and tutorial completions. So check it out down in the description below. Help support the Twitchiest community, charity, and play a fun game while you're at it. Try to enjoy it. Hello everybody, Incon here with your Scylla, a mid lane guide. So I am going to be going into a conduit gem this game to help out with the early clear, but I actually like Sands of Time and conduit on Scylla. They are slightly different in what they get accomplished. The conduit gem is definitely going to help you with the early game clear as well as the late game ulti resets. The Sands of Time is just kind of a more general all around the game. Scylla's one is one of the best made CC abilities in the game, if not the best. So you get a lot more safety with going the Sands of Time, especially if you combine that with like an early Spear of Desolation cooldown boot situation. It's not out of the question for you to get like 30% CDR early, but with this build we're going to be going a little bit more power focused, just trying to make sure that our combo pretty much always gets that reset on the ultimate. And so we're going to be starting off with that conduit gem in the tier 1 going into Rod of Tahuti. Grab our crush, of course, at level 1. This is the ability that we will max out first. It's our main form of wave clear. Does crazy amounts of damage later on. And the reason why it does such a crazy amount of damage is because it's still passive, where when she gets 5 points into an ability, the ability does a secondary effect. And on her 2 becomes a 20% magical protection debuff. So she gets this massive bit of protection debuff in her kit, which really helps her entire kit do so much damage. At level 2, I got my 3, which is of course my getaway skill. Unless you can guaranteed get the kill free with their root at level 2, you're almost always gonna want to go ahead and grab that dash. It's just way safer. Another thing you should know about Scylla Crush, I don't know where the idea got started that you have to let Scylla Crush channel in order for it to do max damage, but that's not true. You can pop Scylla Crush instantly, it doesn't matter, you're gonna get the full damage. It does not need to charge. Now sometimes you do want to actually keep the 2 up because it will let you slow the opponent inside. It is a slow while they're inside it. And so sometimes it buys you a little bit of extra time for your cooldowns, but you do not need to wait for it for any sort of damage or reasons. Then at level 3, I get my root. This is the ability we're going to max out. Third, most importantly, we want to get this up because it becomes a triple root cripple instead of a single root cripple when we get 5 points into it. And so we will actually be grabbing our final point in our 1 and our 2 before we rank up the ulti. So that means our official level order on Scylla is going to be 2, 4, 1, 3. We level up that 3 last. All it's going to give us is a little bit of extra sight, which is nice, and you get a little bit of that placement range. But it is definitely the least important of your abilities. Once again, that is 2, 4, 1, a 3 on that level order. Like I said, you want to max out those Scylla abilities. You want to get that 5 because you get those secondary effects on the abilities when you do that. So it's very important to make sure you get that 5th point to them. As far as our build goes, gonna be the pretty standard mage build. Nothing super special. Oh, Hades tries to go in on me pretty hard right there, but he doesn't have very much HP. Going in hard on a Scylla with not that much HP is always going to be the risky play of the day. She is weaker in the earlier stages of the game. She's definitely a late game team fight character. She's actually so good in the late game team fights that you can get away with the fact that her early game is not the strongest. Most of the time right now, the early game clear is so crucial. But she turns online. She doesn't like need level 20 to be online. Scylla's really a level 13 character. Once she hits 13, she's crazy strong. And so as long as you put your head down and keep farming, you can get there fast enough for Scylla to be relevant by that mid stage of the game in the team fights, not like super ultra late game where you would need to wait for like a Kali or something to be relevant. So for our matchups on Scylla, a great example of one of the gods that Scylla struggles against is a Wheelix. A Wheelix is quite good against Scylla for two reasons. One, a Wheelix pull can pull us out of our 3. For those that don't know, a Wheelix pull works on all leaps. And yes, Hades dash, Scylla dash, etc. are, while they're underground, they are still leaps. Doesn't actually matter what the aesthetic of the ability looks like. All that matters is whether the ability is qualified as a leap. And because of that, she can yoink us right on out of the air. And her Feather Step gives her that immunity frame to help avoid our ultimate and our crush. Which brings us into the fact that immunity frames are really problematic for us on Scylla. Our entire combo basically revolves around hitting our root and then following up with our 2 on our ultimate. So if they have a immunity frame, kind of takes away the ability of us doing that. Oh, that's like 1 HP right there. Finger on my beads, finger on my bead. Just in case I need them for the Hades. I could actually get kind of aggressive on him right here. That's fine. Neath all down, Hades all down. I should be able to just kind of walk right out of that one. I still had my beads up, so I wasn't super worried about it, although I do have to be careful. If I start beating the Hades ult, then the Wheelix combo is really gonna mess me up pretty good. So gods that have immunity frames are kind of the bane of our existence. That means Raven, Chang'e, etc. Raven in particular is the worst because he has presumably beads and blink. Then he has the immunity frame on his 2, and then he has his ulti, which can also jump over our abilities, and it's CC immune. So he basically has like 12 ways out of all of our abilities that end up being super annoying. Another thing about a Wheelix that makes her annoying is that her ultimate makes her root immune. And if you're root immune, then you don't obviously get the root effect on Scylla's 1, which means you basically lack all of your setup for hitting your combo. So immunity frames, root immunity, both of those get very annoying for Scylla. So Raven kind of has all of the above, which is why he's like the most annoying. Wheelix has a lot of it. Kabrakan's got a root immunity. He can be very annoying. Anybody that blinks in your face and has some way of kind of stopping you from using your combo, that's going to be very hard for you. But what Scylla thrives at is doing lots and lots of damage, particularly a burst damage. So we like to pair her with gods that have a lot of setup. Sylvanas is a totally good god to pair with the Scylla. He's got the ultimate. That ultimate knockup provides me enough time to go ahead and use my combo. So if I get a Sylvanas ulti, I can follow up with a little crush root ulti combo, bada bing, bada boom. Works out perfect. Kumbhakarna, a Geb, the Hercules driving strike combo. It doesn't really matter. As long as the CC is about a second long, a Ymir freeze. She just wants gods that have got nice CC to pair with. About a second is probably what you need on Scylla in order to have the proper reaction to go ahead and land your abilities. anything with about a second of CC.
On my way.
For our second item, we're going to be grabbing ourselves our Rod of Tahuti. So you can see how this build doesn't really have any CDR in it right now. We're just going for that big power. I want my ultimate to one-shot so I get that reset every single time. And so that is what we are focusing on above all else. Like I said, you can go a more Sands of Timey cooldowny type build. Both are viable. It just depends on how confident you are that you're going to be getting dove. If you think you're going to get dove all game, I would probably go into the more CDR build. You're going to have your root up more often. You're going to have your leap up more often. But if you don't think you're going to get dove, or if you're not quite as afraid against the enemy team, maybe they don't have a lot of immunities on their team, a lot of ways to stop you, then maybe you can get a little bit more aggressive and go this bigger power build. So for my third item in this game, I'm going to be going into that Spear of Desolation. They've got a little bit of healing. A Divine Ruin wouldn't be bad as well. But I'm probably just going to go ahead and abuse my base damage right now. And I will go ahead and get myself the Spear of Desolation. As well as a Karen's Coin. So Karen's Coin and Ob Shard, honestly, it can come down to personal preference. As far as like a major difference between the two, it's not a ton. The Ob Shard does give you the extra % pen on that first ability cast. On Scylla, your first ability cast probably isn't going to be your ultimate, which means you can get away with the Karen's Coin, get yourself some HP 5, some MP 5, and a little bit of bonus movement speed in order to help you get away. So I will be going into that fourth item, Karen's Coin. Typically, if you're going to get the Karen's Coin, you want to get it third or fourth because you do have to get that stacked. It's not a bad item without the stacks. It just doesn't really like reach its max potency until after you get those stacks going, particularly the movement speed stacks. Those are way more important than the HP 5 stacks. So for our second active on Scylla, we're actually going to get something very different than what we buy on most mages. So on most mages, you would basically get the Aegis and just call it a day. At level 13, note that I'm getting a point in my 1 to max it out instead of getting that point in my ulti because I want that full root effect. We are going to be getting Blink as our second active. I actually think that Blink is basically a mandatory active on Scylla. I think that Scylla and Hades are probably the two most prominent Blink mid users in the game. The Blink Scylla root combo can one-shot squishies. And because it is AoE, if you get a Blink into a backline onto their squishies and you just get a little Blink 2 combo, you basically win the game immediately off of it.
I see.
Now, one thing you should know when going for the Blink combo is be aware of what your enemy's actives are. You don't necessarily always want to pop the crush right away. Your root, you pretty much want to just go ahead and have happen. You blink in and you root, but sometimes you want to wait on the crush, because if the enemy is going to Aegis, it is oftentimes beneficial to let them Aegis, and then they won't be able to walk out of the circle in time, and then you can hit him with the crush afterwards. So that is specifically for if your target has Aegis, you sometimes want to wait on that kill. As far as the ultimate and the combination with the two, you should know that on Scylla, the 2 can be procced at any time. That was a change they made to Scylla a while ago. So you can just pop that 2 whenever you want to. That means in the middle of other abilities, you can absolutely pop it. So the standard way that you are going to go ahead and use that Scylla ult is you want to have the 2 and the 1. Hit him with the 1, hit him with the 2. Typically, you don't pop the 2 quite yet. A lot of times you will end up waiting. Woo! So you'll throw down your 1, and then while your 2 is in the air, right, it's not even to them yet, you'll already be going into your ulti, and then as your ultimate is crushing down, you press your crush again. So that can be a little bit confusing, so I'll kind of show you the concept, even without my ulti up. I'm going to fight somebody, I want to full combo them. I throw out my root in my 2. While the 2 is literally in the air on the way to its target, I'm already pressing my ulti, so that way I can be inside of my ultimate while I press my 2 again. Because you can be in the middle of an animation while you press it. And you do want to make sure that you get that crush though pressed before you use your ulti to guarantee that you get that nice reset.
Be careful,
So you don't want to try to wait until after the crush. Crush starts, ulti starts, crush finishes before the ulti hit. Get a nice sentry ward out here.
Sure.
Check their actives. A Wheelix does have beads. Now I am aware.
Enemies incoming middle.
Gonna look if can't find a combo here. Around the back. Nobody quite yet. Just gonna throw some poke over the wall probably. Oh, found a neat. So right there, hit him with the ulti. Hit him with the 1-2 combo. He uses his beads, that's fine. But you can see the crush was popped right before that ulti was gonna go ahead and come down on him for that reset. Now right now I'm sticking back pretty far. Just waiting to throw some abilities over walls. I can't actually root the Wheelix there because she has her ulti popped. I know that beads are down on Neath. I don't mind going a little bit more aggressive on this. That's also her backflip. So I'm gonna come around behind the tower. They do have a warded, but I've got my beads up. Woo! But Neath has a blink, and so does Ymir apparently. So I'm not gonna be able to get away with the aggressive play there, because apparently they've got a double blink dual lane. All right, now we're gonna start getting ourselves into the Karen's coin for our magical 10%. Like I said earlier, if you prefer the Ob Shard, you can go the Ob Shard here. There's nothing wrong with it. I really think that it's kind of 6-1, half a dozen another. Neither one of them is just like so much better. But if the game goes super long, that Karen's coin fully stacked, I would say is probably slightly better than the Ob Shard, but also the Ob Shard is probably slightly better when you buy it outright first before the stacks.
Watch my back, boy.
Your left tower is under attack.
So for the most part with Scylla, walls are our friend. Our root doesn't go through walls, but everything else does.
Your tower is under attack.
So a lot of the time, we're just going to be trying to throw poke around a wall.
And kaboom! Enemy missing.
That way, we're not necessarily in harm's way when we're trying to get our damage up. But we want to do our big combos. We are going to go ahead and need that root. Now, they could be over kind of by the fire giant, actually. Doesn't look like they are. Looks like they're going to have a couple rotate through top right. So I'm just going to be ready for him with a little wombo combo. Hades actually blinks and dashes right there. So now he's going to be in kind of an awkward spot. So I'm going to try to get a little root combo on him. Going to be able to hit him with the crush. Going to be able to hit him with the ulti. And now I need to be careful that there's not an Wheelix nearby. And go ahead. Look at that. There wasn't a Wheelix nearby. So I've got to use my dash to go ahead and get away from that one.
Your left tower is under
Actually, still need to be a little careful here, because that Wheelix is immune to my roots while she's in the ulti again. But I'm going to be able to use my blink combo here. You can see right there, I held my crush. I didn't hold my crush because I was like, oh, I'm going to build up more damage with my crush. That's not how crush works. I held it because I wanted the extra slow on Ymir, which helped me which helped me and Sylvanas land a couple of more abilities to help us get that kill. Another thing with Scylla 3 is it can be out for quite a while. So right there you saw me kind of throw out the 3. Then I waited around and grabbed the kill before I went and used it. Oftentimes in combat you can use
An enemy has been slain.
your Scylla 3 just like a chalk dash. So think about the chalk combo where sometimes you throw it down one way and you start running a different way. And then that gives you the option to decide if you want to dash to it because they followed you, or if you don't want to dash to it because they followed your 3 and not actually you. And then you just get to kind of waddle. Another great way to use it is to help prevent Scylla from falling behind in the early game.
And kaboom!
So if you're getting camped early, if you find that every time you move up to the wave, you're having a hard time, you're dying, what you can do is you can go ahead and throw down your 3. Then you can run forward, you can throw down your crush and your combo on the wave, and then use it to get back, and then you can just go ahead and use that really long distance crush to go ahead and clear the wave. Just a safer way to clear if you're a little bit worried about getting dove. Speaking of getting dove, I should be able to live through this Neathel even if she comes for me, so that's all right. I'm gonna back up off of that one, go get ourselves that nice Karen's coin.
I love my
I'm gonna
toys.
save the rest of my money so I can go ahead and get myself the Archmage's gem. We do want the Archmage's gem on Scylla because we want all of that bonus % power, specifically gonna help us out a lot on our ultimate.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna look for a little combo here onto the Mulan. Really good Ymir wall. Actually gonna stop that combo from hitting. That was sick. So now at this point,
I see.
we're into late game Scylla. This is where Scylla becomes the absolute scariest.
And kaboom!
Anybody in front of you is a good target. There is no such thing as a bad target on Scylla. You do so much damage. A tanky guardian in front of you, great target. Tanky soul laner, great target. Doesn't matter. The only thing you really need to be careful about is a thorns. A thorns can actually mess you up pretty hard. Even though thorns is kind of intended to be a little bit more like anti-auto attacker, the thorns will still mess you up good. So a little root, throw down the crush, pump the 2 right before my ulti hits, and then the ulti hits. That's the exact combo that we were talking about earlier. Gonna throw down yet another ulti because I know that the Mulan is coming this way. He misses his ball, I miss my root. We're all missing abilities, it's fun. No, I need to waddle away. So that is that full damage combo that you are looking to land. Root throws out crush, already getting into the ulti. Ulti starts crashing down as you press the 2 yet again. Easiest way to get off that full Scylla combo and hit it more often. Now with Archmage's gem, and at this point, all we really want is more cooldown. So if some games you might need a Divine Ruin, so maybe you've got a Divine Ruin in your build. For the anti-healing, you don't have a room here. Maybe you went cooldown boots instead, so you've got a little bit more CDR. So the last item does get to be situational. Divine Ruins, Soul Gems, Chronos Pendants. All you're looking to do is just kind of get that CDR as high as you can. Got a little Neathel on me, so I gotta jump over that wall right there. Been making Neath ulti friends all game long. Looks like they might know where I am over here. No ward, but they had a pretty good idea of where it was. Just keep on jumping over walls. No fear, Shakespeare. His W key is firmly pressed, but like, I'm not that scared of the Ymir. I'm kind of waiting for Sylvanas to give me a little bit of setup, whether it's a root or an ulti. Doesn't look like he's going to get him off. His ultimate just wasn't quite up, but that's fine. We'll still be able to follow up with the crush afterwards. Now I've got to keep a decent position here. But I see that the Sylvanas has come up with the root combo. The Hercules actually driving strikes Mulan closer towards her base and away from my crush at the same time. He definitely would have been a lot better off right there, having just not used the crush altogether. And now it's a time to attack some middle lane and some left lane. Get some towers. Get some T2 towers online. And Scylla does not get any less scary as the game goes on. She just keeps getting scarier and scarier and scarier and scarier. Get a little speed steal while I'm over here. Time for us to kind of just group up, go start looking at fire giant stuff, shove right lane, all that good stuff. We got a nice 10k lead heading into the 25-minute marker, so we should be fairly free to do the fire giant. Looks like there is somebody over here. Mulan's already down to half HP. Don't really want to use my ulti right here because I do want to be able to secure the fire giant with it. So with Scylla secure, our Scylla secure is no different than when we're trying to eliminate a target. We want to make sure that we're popping our crush and our ultimate at the exact same time. So we want to have our crush on the floor, preferably, and then we use our ulti. This time we're burning the fire giant too fast, so I'm not going to be able to use my crush because we actually did it within the cooldown. So I'm just going to have to use my ultimate as a secure by itself. But because you can pop your 2 and your ulti at the same time, it does make Scylla one of the best objective secures in the game. So I'm gonna go soul gem this game. I'm gonna grab me a little bit of soul gem for some of that bonus damage I'll get. Soul gem plus Spear of Desolation in my red pot will put me at 30% CDR. So not quite cap. Easy way in order to get that to cap is to have had a cooldown boots instead, is to have gone a Chronos pendant, something of that sort. Got a coffee attack right lane, so we can go grab that.
On my way.
A last T2. And I should probably be a little bit careful about my positioning at this point. It's a bit aggressive for me to be up here with the other team. But I'm also pretty large, and I'm a comfortable guy on Scylla, so. Mulan tries to get out of my combo, but actually kind of puts herself further into my combo, and now I'm just kind of sitting over here zoning him out until the team gets there, and a couple of crushes later is gonna be all we need. I like the soul gem for a little bit of bonus damage in the late game. The heal is nice, but honestly not what I get it for. I mostly just get it for the fact that it gives you that extra scaling on the next ability, and if you get like extra scaling from that plus the extra scaling from your one, plus Scylla gives you default ability power from her passive, plus you've got the ride up to Hootie. It's just so much plus on plus on plus on plus on plus.
Ultimate is ready.
And the more pluses, the better chance Scylla ult has to kill the target. The more better chance it has to reset. And if you're resetting Scylla ult, well, you've basically already won.
And kaboom!
Just kind of sitting back right now, waiting for Hades to go in. There he goes. Gonna follow up with a root right on him. I mean, that's an 1100 damage root. I don't even need my ulti right there to get all that damage. Now I'm looking for this Wheelix in the back. I'm gonna go for a little blink root action and then follow right into my ulti for that CC immunity. Wasn't able to find him, but I will be able to follow up on that. Looking for the Neith because he went for the ulti. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to put him down. Missing a couple too many roots. I'm gonna have to go ahead and start running myself away from this one, but I actually kind of kite him around. Utilize my 3 for as long as I can. You can see I threw it out there really early until they were like, oh, he's gonna go right to it. But then I didn't go right to it. They're like, oh, he's not gonna go to it all. But then I went to it anyway. Just like you would utilize the Chalk 1-2 combo is how you want to utilize your Scylla 3. It just makes your dash that much better as a getaway skill when you can also use it for the kind of the mind games that go along with it. Also the mind game. Don't just use that as a simple getaway skill. Use it as a, oh, I'm throwing out, I'm gonna dash to it. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Oh wait, now I'm over here. Oh, my cooldowns are back up. I'm gonna hit you with a crush root, guys. And that's how you get 32,000 damage on the good old Scylla mid lane guide. Don't forget to download Star Trek Fleet Command and support the Twitchiest community and charity by downloading it from the description down below, and beating that tutorial takes about 10 minutes. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a twitching day, y'all.